Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Getting Close Up, the show focused on independent artists and creatives. I'm your host, Danielle Cox, and I'd like to invite you to go ahead and join the GCU fam. Click that like button, subscribe, and make sure you ding the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. You do not want to miss out. I know you don't. My guests today are a young band whose unique perspective is quickly establishing them as ones to watch both locally and eventually the world. Today, we are getting close up with Psycho Mismatch. Hey, y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
Y'all just look so good together. Like, such a unit.
Stop.
Good.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Let's go ahead and start with some introductions. We can start from here and go up.
Sure.
Your name, what you do, and actually, too, how long you've been doing music.
Okay. My name is Sage Wallace. I'm the guitarist. Also manage. So I do a lot of the social media stuff and blah, 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 hippity hoop blah. I've been playing guitar for about 2 years and 4 months now. I come from a line of musicians. I didn't pick up guitar until I was about 18. So, right at the beginning of senior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead.
I'm Kay Manchin. I'm the drummer for Psycho Mismatch. I'm the youngest in the band. I'm 18. I'll say that. I've been a musician for 10 years and I've been playing live for 9.
Nice.
I'm Cody Winters. I've been playing guitar for about 3.5 years now. I'm the rhythm guitarist and lead vocalist for Psycho Mismatch.
I'm Kyle Sargent. I've been playing probably 13 years of music, but I've only been playing live for not even 2 years yet, so I'm pretty new to doing all this.
Whew.
Yeah.
Likewise.
What I love about that is you guys are fairly young, right? I know I'm not the first person to say that to you. I'm easily double all of y'all's age. But you have so much experience under your belt. Like, how did you start? Let's just, with each of you, just briefly. What got you into music?
Wow.
I know, it's kind of a big question, but I think it's
I love
really
it.
important because
It's a good one, though.
y'all are young, but you've been playing for 10 years. So that's a lot.
Man.
It is a lot.
That's easy for me because it's a little bit of a unique perspective. Because my family, I didn't grow up listening to a lot of the classics like these guys did or some other people. I grew up listening to movie soundtracks. So that's what really got me hooked, seeing how music was able to alter film in a way that just changed the entire feel, the entire emotion of the story. That's how I really got involved into music.
Wow.
And I started playing piano for a couple years and absolutely love the keys, but I found my home in guitar, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah.
Dude.
Anybody else?
Man, I just always loved me. I was surrounded by so much like classical from a really, really early age. And I knew someone who played in the KC Symphony when I was like 5, got to hold his violin. That's what got me into violin like when I was like 10.
So you play guitar and violin.
Well, I play guitar, drums, bass, violin.
Cello.
I got I don't. He's got keys down. Like my hands just can't do keys. Even though I got piano fingers, everyone tells me I just can't. But like music's just always been like I got one instrument, got okay with it.
Yeah.
Bought another. I was like, okay, let's try the new thing. Let's just keep going. It's just inspiration after inspiration.
See, that's awesome.
What got me into music? Man. So from about 8th grade to junior year, which was 2020, COVID year, I was professionally gaming. So I was signed to an esports team for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I was known as the best Fortnite player in Kansas City, Missouri. Believe it or not. I don't like talking about it, though.
You said here with a legend?
Yeah, we are indeed. Great Sage Wallace.
I had a lot of people who hated me.
Sage Wallace.
Big local streamers, Keemstar Legion. I used to, whoop them in tournaments. And I was like 14, 15.
My gosh.
It was awesome. I mean, it definitely sacrificed a lot out of my life, though.
You're responsible for a lot of broken TVs and probably broken monitors and controllers.
Don't even get him started on that.
Yeah.
Truth.
I'm a criminal. But no, so
In the video game
the thing
world.
about that was I've always wanted to pursue success through alternative means. I don't have it in my soul to be a 9-to-5 desk job kind of person. So, I was homeschooled when I was young, alternative teaching. I'm the oldest of 5, so I had a crazy upbringing. And I think that gaming sucked a lot out of my life. I mean, you could ask my family, relatives. I was gone for like 4 or 5 years.
It takes a lot.
It takes
to get
a
to that
lot.
level.
And eventually all my friends went to college. They all were really successful, full rides, tech, computer science, brain science. And I was the odd one out. I was still playing. So I kicked the bucket and I was like, I have this guitar in my closet from 12 years ago when my grandma got it for me when I was 10 years old, right? 9 years old.
Dusted off the strings.
I went in there. It was still in perfect condition. No dust. No wear. It was in the box, sealed. I pulled it out and I just started playing it, and it just sucked the soul out of me. I mean, literally, I got hooked immediately.
Music does that.
And you got brought into real life.
Yeah, so I
immediately.
I snapped strings in the first 5 minutes, multiple.
Oh yeah.
I went through, so I ordered 15 packs of strings. And I broke 8 of them before I was able to actually restring the guitar. And by the way, I was restringing it backwards too.
Yeah, because you get it for the first time. You want to strum it as hard as you can.
And you're tuning it up instead of down, so you just snap the string. Yeah. But after that, that's when I mean, my dad's a DJ. I've been around drum and bass, electronic music, trance, house. I was big into hip hop. Literally, the only rock band I ever listened to growing up was Linkin Park. Because it was a cross of rock and rap.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
So I grew up on real old school stuff, like NWA, Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, Usher, Nelly. So that and DJ and realizing going from this to this was actually a lot easier than learning an entirely something crazy. So the finger movement was still there, and at first it was a hobby, and now it's my life. So
I'm telling you, I was that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I know that you guys have some layers.
Yeah.
And go ahead with your story.
Oh God.
Ooh boy.
Ooh boy. Don't. Oof. I agree with Sage. Music really sucks you in. I know it. It took me from such a young age. My siblings. I grew up watching them. My whole family's full of athletes, and nobody is a musician in my family except for me.
Oh, wow.
And I always felt like the black sheep, I was the kid that listened to all the different music. My mom had me growing up listening to reggae and hip hop, 90s hip hop, and my grandma would tell me all these stories about how she saw Bob Marley in the 60s and One Love.
Yeah. It's not like I'd be friends with y'all's parents.
Right. No, 100%.
And, I got the country from my dad because, we grew up in rural Kansas City, Missouri, right? And, I'd never really felt like I fit in because I suck at sports. I'll say that. I do. But, I grew up watching music videos on my TV, growing up watching MTV and seeing Guns N' Roses on, MTV2 and all that, and Godsmack, all stuff like that. And it sucked me in because I'm like, what gets that traction? What makes people want to see that?
Right.
And why do I want to do it?
I want to do it. I want to be in that place.
Yeah.
And, I started an orchestra in 4th grade in 2014. And I love the feeling of getting to connect with my peers through music. And then I joined my first band when I was 12. So
yeah, because when he sent me the write-up, he's like, oh, it's been 15 plus bands. I'm like, how?
Oh, God, you said that? No, it's just dealing with a lot of people and feeling it out, seeing where you fit in. And I always kind of crave that challenge. There's a difference between a challenge that you like and want to keep doing or a challenge that just you never want to do again.
Right.
So sports, I was just like, I'm never doing that again.
Right.
And I just noticed music, I always kind of crave something more with it. When I was 7, I started on guitar. Then I went to piano. Didn't like those. Went to violin. Didn't like it. 4 years after that, played cello. Didn't like it. Played bass guitar when I was 15. Didn't like it. Then COVID hit in 2020. And I picked up the drums and I was just like, this is the hardest instrument I've had to learn, but it sucks me in. I want to keep doing it. And
how'd your parents feel about being trapped in the house with you for 3 years?
Oh God, I was more concerned about how they'd feel about it than they were. They were just like, we want to see you try everything.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm so thankful.
Awesome.
I want to clarify, when she says didn't like it, I've barely known her, if not even a year long, but she's fluent on these instruments.
Yes.
She,
Right.
she hasn't
She is
backed off.
bilingual.
Very important
She's
detail.
fluent. She's like actually good at like what she's like. I
That's
didn't
right.
like it. Moved on to the next. But I will say that's the journey. It's
It
beautiful.
is a journey.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I mean,
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that because it's so important to just try everything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I knew you guys all played different instruments, multiple instruments, but like trying everything because people, they think, oh, well, that's not for me. No, you keep going.
exactly.
And it's even better if like you end up being a savant at it, like most of y'all did anyway. Now, was there a particular time where you said, okay, I'm playing all these instruments, I really love music, band life, rather than just being a solo artist or
Right.
something like that? What made you say, okay, I think I want to try being in a band?
It was, I mean, for me, I always had stage fright growing up, and I kind of wanted to have an excuse to get over it. I couldn't see myself being a studio musician and sitting in the background. I always kind of craved that feeling of being on stage. But that's why I like being a drummer is because, mainly the focus is on him. I don't have to worry about people staring at me, so I can hide behind a big drum set but still get that excitement for being on a stage.
Yeah.
This is kind of my first band experience. She's been in 15.
nice.
I've been in 1. Which these guys have also been in multiple bands.
She's
So
like,
I'm coming out pretty fresh. I mean, just like less than a year ago, I was just playing guitar in my basement, to a couple friends. So when I met Sage at a place called Music House, went up and played some Voodoo Child, some Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
and
Which he's a natural at.
we became pretty good friends.
couldn't
And
shake
I
me
guess
off after
he
that.
saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And
awesome.
and lately, as the band's been growing, all these guys have been kind of showing me that maybe I do have something a little bit more to offer, especially vocally, because I had not been trained in singing at all, and apparently I'm good. So
you're awesome as a vocalist.
Yeah.
thank you.
And you have a commanding presence
He does.
when you're performing, like 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
100%. And you describe yourselves as artistic psychos.
A little bit.
I am interested in the source of the name Psycho Mismatch.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow. So,
Wow.
okay.
Take a breather.
Let's be
before you
real.
answer.
Let's
take
be
a
real.
break. Okay.
We're all a
Let's be
little
real.
crazy. Let's get that out of the
I
way.
will say,
Extremely.
when people ask me about my personal affiliation with the name Psycho Mismatch, I
What's
feel
your
like
affiliation?
I've always understood more than most of the peers my age growing up, so I was always alienated. So I always consider myself a little crazy. I'm like,
Yep.
I know a little too much at too young of an age. That's why I've
Growing up
always been big
fast.
into philosophy. But when we came together and Cody was like, I'm kind of crazy. I don't know if you can handle me. And I was like, oh, you have no idea,
Oh, yeah.
buddy. And
Right
Kyle comes
before,
in the mix.
right before I think we solidified the band, I was like, just before you get into us, we're psycho.
Yeah.
All of us, everyone,
Yeah.
we're a little,
I was like,
crazy.
I came to further the instability. We're here.
Right.
Just
And then I
keep
think
the ship rocking.
the
More in a
mismatch
kitschy,
element.
eclectic way, not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
farming animals.
Oh,
Right,
No,
right,
no,
right.
You know,
no.
like,
Animals
no.
on
In the
my-
musical way.
Love animals.
I'll
In the
talk
Like a
about
musical way.
rocket
way.
ship launching into
But you
space.
gotta make that.
Yeah.
You gotta
Right.
make that delineation
Yes,
up
yeah,
front,
we'll
like
say.
just so y'all know.
And you
Yeah.
could definitely see that energy on stage. I started as their drum tech before I was their drummer. I just joined as their drummer, 4 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
pretty fresh.
I've been jamming with them. I've known him
She's
for
played
like
with us for a long
a
time.
year and a half now. And it took a lot of convincing for me to join the band because I was just like, you've got a good lineup as it is. I don't want to intrude on anything, but I want to help out in any way that I can. And it just, you could tell, they have rituals before all their shows. I'd walk in the green room, they're all doing push-ups, yelling at
I'm
each
sorry,
other.
you got hit on the push-ups?
I haven't, but
Not yet.
I kind of just walk in the room like, okay, turn around and
This
walk
is
out.
happening.
Yep. They want me to join in on them.
We
though.
have yet to have our first show together.
It's coming up though,
It's
on the
coming up.
27th.
Tuesday, February 27th at Vivo Live Events at 7 p.m. sharp.
He's got all the details.
Yes, of course he does.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that also
You know
while
it.
you have all the details.
know it.
Now, as I'm sitting here talking to you all, you seem very calm and cool and collected and everything. You have fun with each other and everything. But your stage personas, though. It's like kids with scissors.
Yeah.
Kids running around
Yeah.
with scissors.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me,
Okay.
I want each of you to give me one word that describes your stage persona.
Oof. Oh no.
Or how you would describe it.
Dramatic. Maybe.
I get
No,
that.
that's a good one.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good
As a
one.
band or
You yourself.
okay.
Yeah.
Animal.
Animal?
That's a
Well,
good
and I
one.
love that because Animal the Muppet plays
Right.
drums.
That used to be my nickname in some of my first bands.
Oh,
Because
I love it.
I had bright red hair for 2 years, and I whip it on stage.
That's what's up.
I'll say tilted.
Tilted.
That's interesting.
That is an
Okay.
interesting one. Why that?
Cause it's walkable. It's even enough. It's even enough, but it's shaky. It's shaky.
It's walkable.
It's
Okay,
shaky.
you're up. You're
Get
up.
loose. Just a little.
I would say Nicolas Cage.
That's 2 words.
And a name.
And a name.
Making a cameo.
But maybe that describes everything. that we need to
I'm
know.
very curious though, because I'm in the band and I don't see it.
We have a counter question.
Yeah, a little
We have a
bit.
counter question.
I feel like Nicolas Cage is a very iconic actor in the way that his dad energy portrays in every movie he acts in.
So iconic?
But so there is a movie
So you're our dad.
that is a whoa.
Whoa.
So this is where it comes from, and it's also associated with the name. There's a movie that's like a knockoff of Five Nights at Freddy's, where Nicolas Cage is the night guard
Yeah, Willie's one.
at a Willy's Wonderland,
Oh, okay.
and instead of the monsters killing him, he brutally just murders all the monsters.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like when I'm on stage, it's like it's
Nicolas
like
Cage.
the bad luck is not gonna come to my band. You know what I mean?
I got
it's
you.
It's like yeah,
Right. You're
Yeah.
the sleeper
yeah,
cell.
exactly. It's like a
essentially.
super fun. Yeah.
The
I
omen
see
of
that.
safety.
But if
the
I actually
sage
had
of
a word,
safety.
I would just say I feel like I have like charming. I'd be more specific.
So
word.
Nicolas Cage and Charming.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But what you said is so interesting because then your name is Sage, and it's like when you're burning, you like ward off.
There you
everything.
go.
Exactly.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, sage with. Sage
Making
with
a note.
sage.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Is it there?
It's burned into
And
it.
he'll come over and Sage, like in the middle of band practice, he's just like, I gotta take a break.
Got it with you.
Always brings it with
Yeah.
him. Every show.
Keep it on me.
Sage with the Sage.
You were
Sage
giving that
drop.
off. I'm very perceptive that way. Well, since we're on you now,
Okay.
so you are not just a band member, but also the manager,
Yeah.
band manager.
Yep.
Tell me about your perspective in that and some of the challenges that you had to go through in balancing that dynamic.
So, as much as I would like to only focus on just writing music and playing music, I feel like I've always trusted my own intuition more than the guidance of other management in a way. You know, like as soon as I started, this guy Kyle started introducing me to all the musicians and all the bands that have been around for a while. Like all the advice I got, you know, it all started coming to me right away. Like for some reason, I was always the one, you know, they were giving me so much advice and don't do this, do this,
Right.
do that. And from a managing standpoint, it was like I had a vision and I saw something, and I'm not a leader in a sense, but I
How
also
so? How so?
so I see certain things in my band members, and sometimes they don't see it in themselves. Same way I don't see it in myself sometimes. But I definitely feel like I have the ability to manifest things, and I feel like people like Cody and Kyle can project it, and it's very
It's like
it is a very intuitive exercise.
it's
feed
like
off each other.
you're not necessarily a leader as much as you are the visionary.
Exactly.
You're like
Yep.
lead visionary oracle,
Yeah.
like the oracle of the
Fish.
band. And we
Well,
just
no, that's just another way to lead, though.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people have a particular idea about leadership and how it needs to look, and
Right.
a lot of people assume authoritarian or some other type of element, when really the leader is responsible for the vision,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and the vision is what makes the path plain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
it does
agree.
lead.
I agree.
So no, I I get that. That's why I wanted to ask
Yeah.
you that, because I wanted to see what your idea was on your role.
It stems from a lot of I had a lot of experience in content creation from when I was gaming and establishing a persona online as a as a streamer and content creator. So I already knew a little bit
Right.
and about marketability and whatnot. And I got guidance real early on when we were in a band, and I took it to heart and went with it. And on top of that, I mean, I've always been big into philosophy. Like, I took it in college and high school. I was in college level English. So, in terms
Because
of
philosophy ain't an easy thing
it's
to want
not
to do.
Right.
exactly. I feel like that's what I
Usually run
struggle
from
with.
that.
Yeah. So it's always just a bunch of old people telling you what to do.
And when you say old, you mean people like from
Old.
thousands
Right.
of years ago.
And all of them try to tell each other what. No, they don't. They won't tell each other what to do.
They try.
They'll all give you 20 different ways to do something. So that's what the thing about philosophy.
And he says he's not a natural leader. You'd be surprised though, because
I'm sure.
like he said, this is pretty much his first band, and I've been in so many failed projects. But so I've gotten plenty of experience of not, I'd say, live shows, but how bands and as people and as family work together.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of things in each other that we don't personally see, and we all feed off of each other. And when you're a small band, before you have a manager, you all need to have your own roles. Like, Sage is a manager, and he helps manage all of our finances, all of our social media.
That's the big one for me. I'm terrible at social media, so the fact that he can handle that is a blessing.
Right. I mean, he and I, we really help to keep each other calm. Because we're in such different headspaces when we're playing versus when we're just hanging out and chill in a setting like this.
Yeah.
And it's so easy, since we're younger, it's so easy to get upset with each other and be like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. And
And
Cody's
it works
just
out
here.
that they kind of bounce off each other because, bass and drums, it kind of fits a bit.
Yeah.
No.
Aw.
Proper. Falls into place in a way.
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely all have our own roles when it comes to it, and I feel like that's why we have such a
It's also natural.
feel it like
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
like,
feels
you do
very
this, you do
natural.
that, you do that. We all just
we
kind
don't
of
force it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you all have a love of music,
Yeah.
you all have a passion for that.
Yeah.
You found the things that connect within each other, and so it just makes it easier to have that
Yeah.
purpose.
And I feel like ultimately we all want to do good things for
Yeah.
the world. I mean, that whole. It's less about being a rock star and living the fast life. It's more about having a platform and giving people something to relate
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I've been, I've been there, and if I haven't been there, I still understand it. Because thanks to empathy, a little too much empathy, but for my own good. But I think we all just share love for music and want to share the love with those people that need the love.
There's a lot of sounds, I think, that go on in our head. A lot of
Yeah.
tunes that maybe aren't actually written or out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we get together and kind of put all these ideas into one,
We help bring it out.
what's been coming out has been pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
mostly your songwriting process in general. You
Yeah.
just kind of talk to each other about what you were feeling or what came out of you, and you kind of link those things up.
It's
Yeah, very much so.
Psycho, it's chaotic, but it works.
Well, it's even more
Control
chaotic
the
because
chaos.
you have all these people who play multiple instruments,
Yeah.
who know
Right.
all these different things about how to do different things, and you're communicating that. So it really makes the best music, but
Very
it also
true.
makes it really difficult.
Right.
You have these different, multiple
Right.
reference touch points.
Oh,
From the style of music that you grew up with and what you listen to.
Yeah.
It's also very different.
There's
Right.
bound to be some conflicting ideas in there. But
Oh yeah.
But it all goes together because, you can still do an orchestral rendition of a rock song or a rap
Right.
song or anything
Yes.
else. There's always a blend. It's
yeah.
just...
I love it.
And music's just it's so versatile. Like if we're playing something heavy and we're like, let's clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We can do the same kind of song, but just in a different vibe and a different feel.
End
Yeah.
of the day, that's what
Experiment.
brings us together.
Yeah.
You
True.
know,
I guess
music,
so dope.
that would
music
give
is our
me
life,
a-
but we're a family.
That would give me a
Family.
question to ask all of us then, including you. What are your 3 influences in music?
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's turned into the
flip it
interviewer.
around.
I knew it would happen.
I want to flip it around. So yes, I grew up. My mother was big into classical music. She was she played classical and jazz piano,
Yes.
and also the
Beautiful.
clarinet. So I grew up with a lot of
Nice.
blues,
Pretty.
jazz, classical music.
Yes.
My grandmother loved opera. My dad was very much into soul,
There you go.
and for me, I latched on immediately to Prince. My dad was a huge Prince fan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And he's a walking genre. So
Yeah.
that's what I latched onto early on and what I love listening to. I still listen to classical music. I love jazz. I love blues. I love funk. I love hip hop.
Nice.
I love bluegrass. I love all different kinds of things.
Wow.
Yes.
So I have a very eclectic taste within myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Love
one of
that.
the reasons why I like talking to people like you guys and artists in general, because I have so many reference touch points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can identify with a lot.
Wow.
What is next? Like, what are some of the big plans that you have coming down the pipe for this year and going forward?
So, I will say, from April to June, we're playing a tour. We're
Late
in-
March, I think. Late
April-
March to
It's
June.
It's
first date is
April-
April 6th.
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Here
it's
in Kansas
coming
City.
soon, but it's coming
That's
soon.
coming up. I know it's
Yeah.
blowing by. It's ridiculous.
So it'll be our first tour, and I mean I think we've all kind of agreed. Our whole goal is to like freaking do it now and learn as much as possible.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
That's the main reason
because
we're
we're
doing
just
it.
going out there. We don't have any.
We're not getting
protection.
compensated
Yeah,
for
so
anything.
We're
just,
shooting for it.
Yeah.
We're a band
And,
going on the
check
road
out-
with our gear.
Yeah.
Doing it while we can. We're taking the
And-
opportunity as a
So we're playing April through June. It's called the Rising Stars Tour. We're playing with a bunch of awesome, huge
Very good.
bands, like especially like a couple leagues up from us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're playing our first shows here, so we get to host bands, which is gonna be awesome. We're gonna give them a
That's
show.
an amazing
Yeah.
opportunity,
So we're playing Colorado Springs,
Little Rock.
Little Rock, Arkansas. Excuse me.
Oklahoma.
Belleville, Illinois.
Playing small
Oklahoma.
towns like that is a good idea
Yeah,
too.
Belleville, Illinois, Oklahoma, Lawrence,
Yeah.
at the Bottleneck.
I think Stacy's are playing that one. My other band.
You have
Shout
plans
out.
on like
Shout out Stacey.
recording, doing any
Yes.
albums?
So our whole goal is to start getting demos out. My whole thing is I don't like, and also obviously this doesn't speak for the whole band, but I've learned that just shooting music out with no preparation or no want for it doesn't really gain you anything. Especially if it's something you pour a lot of work in, you would want to return. So putting out demos and B-sides and rarities, recording live shows, self-producing, just stuff you can hey, you buy a shirt, scan this QR code, you can hear our demo.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Constant content.
You have to build your own attraction. You can't just go out and play a show and all of a sudden get attraction. You have to build it
Right.
too. I mean, it's planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to give
Everything's
people more.
planned.
Yeah.
Control
Yeah.
the chaos.
Yeah.
The perfect set is like you'll hear a lot of really talented bands be like the perfect set is leaving the people more, wanting more. Because if you like just play all night and they're tired of it, it's like, woof, okay, I'm not gonna listen to them
Right.
on streaming for a while. I just
Right.
kind of had my due. But if like you leave them wanting more, they're gonna immediately look you up, listen to you on the way home, listen to you for the next week.
Yep.
That's awesome. And I know that that's the energy that y'all give because that's what I feel. Just on what I've seen,
Yeah.
and so I know that there's so much more coming. I really want to thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank
This
you.
was
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I
the
know there's a
opportunity.
lot in this that people are going to latch onto, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait for you guys to really make your mark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
I
It's a
can't say
privilege.
if I'm ready or not, but here we go.
We're gonna have to
That's the
be.
None of
point.
us
That's the
are.
thing. Whether you are, just as long as you're going.
Yep. Never
Because
stop.
ready is contingent on a lot of
Yeah.
things.
You know,
Just
Once
do
it-
it.
you know,
once it
just
takes
do
off.
it.
Never
Just
stop.
keep going.
We don't stop once it takes off.
Nope.
We're in
It's
this.
too late now.
No turning back.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching today. Again, I'd like to thank Psycho Mismatch for being here with me. It was a great conversation. If you had as much fun as we did, make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe. Share this with your friends. Get them to introduce them to their new fave.
Do
Because I
it.
know that they
Do
will
it.
be. Okay? New episodes of Getting Close Up air bi-weekly on Fridays. Also, make sure to check out GC Review with me and D. We'll give you the tea on what's hot and what's not. We're a lot of fun. You already know what it is. Thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you again soon for another Close Up.
Peace.
I'll be checking for you. Bye.